Hi, I'm Andre Faust. This morning I was at a hearing at the provincial courthouse which involved the plaintiff, Charles Leblanc, and the defendants, the city of Fredericton. The question that was answered today was whether or not the amendments to the statement of defense entered by the defendants could be accepted by the courts. The decision was rendered yes. Judge Glendenning, though, went on to say that she felt that the amendments would not harm Charles in any way. And it was decided that it would go to trial, but what's unknown at this time is when will that trial date be. So it's just a matter that we have to do a wait and see. Following the hearing, I'd asked Charles if he'd be interested in doing an interview, and the interview was originally supposed to focus on what transpired today, but Charles being Charles, it took a different avenue. So, here's our interview of this morning. Well, welcome to the Green Studio. With me is Charles Leblanc. This morning we were at a hearing, and I'm not quite sure how to make heads or tails, but I guess you were there to either accept or reject an amendment. So, how do you feel that went?
Number one, I thank the judge. I thank you for bringing me here. And what is that? And I thank the judge for giving me an adjournment last week. I was emotionally upset, and I just want to tell your viewers I was emotionally upset because of my friend that died, Myra Stewart, and I quit smoking 6 years ago and drink water. And I want to add that, make sure I could make one person drink water. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. And make sure you don't cut it off. This is different. This is not the, CNN type. Nice office. So anyway, how it went? It went. The judge was calm. She didn't raise her voice, Judy Clembenning. Myself, I am not a lawyer. And I'm just... I read the book. Someone talked to me this over the weekend, and read all through the pamphlets, brochures, and said, "This is bullshit. This is just showing how much of a bad person that you are. That you have been a thorn on their side for the last 10 years. You are this. You are that. So therefore." Supposedly, it justifies the police to raid my place and to falsely accuse me to exploit children for sex. And how did it went? It went, in my opinion, I think it went good. Everybody was calm, but I don't trust the justice system. They'll hug you, they'll laugh with you, the judges and everything, but at the end, boom! And then you just, but anyway, that's the way I see it. But I'm not a lawyer.
Well, justice is a rich man's game, no matter how you cut it. Now, what seems to be interesting, or what my observation was, I looked at the package that they gave you. One booklet, I'd say, was 400, 500 pages long.
And I got more home.
And you got more home, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You've got boxes.
Yeah.
And what the first thing that I noticed from it is like what you just went and said, is how bad you are. Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm asking myself, I said, what does that relate to the issue? The issue is that the Fredericton City Police, for whatever their reasons are, misled your internet provider to get access to your data, to your IP address, to your MAC address. They said that they were investigating you with child sexual exploitation. And that's the only way. That's the only way you can get information from the IP. They're only allowed to give your personal information if it's sexually related matter. But they were investigating Charles for. They were investigating you for defamatory libel.
Yeah.
So all this stuff here about how bad of a guy you are, that has nothing to do with the two issues at hand.
what I found very sad, very sad. A person like you, please don't tell me the story. About 50 years ago, oh, I'm sorry, 50 years or 75 years ago, you went to law school?
Well, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, so we don't want to go into details. But anyway, you watch. Now, let's face fact here. You have Asperger's. I have ADHD. And you go to the details. And that's good. That's an advantage of Asperger's. Details. Always ask questions. What the details mean is just over the cuff, and that's why I'm always in trouble. But the lawyer, Leanne Murray, there used to be a former president of the Fredericton Liberal Association in downtown Fredericton, sent 5 tugs after me at a Christmas party, which I was a member of the Liberal Party in 2009. But me and her, I don't like her, but and she says, the judge, I thought, they'll set up a date, talk to Leanne Murray from Miss Cooper. And I said, how am I going to talk with her? But anyway, she turned around and then, was it Rule 79?
Rule 79.
Okay, first time they tell me a number. And they turn around and you ask a question. And she looked at you in a snobby way, said, excuse me, are you a lawyer? Who are you? Are you a lawyer? And you just went, so you have a person that's on social assistance that can't afford a lawyer. And you get a chick-ass kicking by the cops. I mean, labeled as a pedophile. And you don't have a lawyer because New Brunswick is like the 1920s of Ontario. It's old, it's old-fashioned, it's like they socialize together. Judge, police, and lawyers and prosecutors. And then suddenly you got somebody like you that happens to be in the area. Oh, you're not a member of the Law Society of New Brunswick. We're not going to talk to you. What kind of beep is that system?
Well, Fredericton, and maybe in New Brunswick, but Fredericton, being a university town and kind of the capital of the province and whatnot, the lawyers are really looking after their paycheck. There have been some classic cases in the past of 2 lawyers that were doing a lot of pro bonos and whatnot.
But Danny Waters, one of them?
He did some promo bonos, but that wasn't on the job.
Mike Evans or Mike Ryan?
Tom Evans.
Tom Evans.
Did a substantial amount of...
Mike Ryan.
I can't remember Mike Ryan. But it's down, it's frowned upon to be able to do these pro bonos.
Then you're blacklisted.
For some lawyers, Tom Evans was blacklisted. I knew Tom personally. I knew his lifestyle.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away 2009.
Oh, really?
Actually, the last time I'd seen Tom was at the community college in St. Andrews when I was getting my captain's ticket. He was doing his electrical. But anyway, yes, Tom had a very unique lifestyle that some would approve and some wouldn't approve. But his lifestyle didn't make him a lawyer. He was an excellent lawyer. He was quick on the draw. In ways, Tom Evans is a...
We're not here to talk about Tom Evans. We're here to discuss misjustice of the system. Okay, here we are.
Well, that's a great lead-in. Now, if you would be a lawyer, you would be like Tom Evans because you'd be taking legal action against the judges, against everyone in the process, and that's what Tom did. He took...
Really?
He took judges.
But he was a lawyer.
So that's the point that I'm getting at too. But the underlying, what you show, what you've been able to show and bring to the surface, is the reality that the justice system is based on money.
Yeah.
Well, today, let's take a look. We left the courtroom and the Olins case.
Oh, did you see that?
It was a circus.
Yeah. They say, okay, pick a number, 1 to 23. And
well, I think it was 1 to 45. There was
it was upstairs.
40-some seats available.
Few seats. I went up there by mistake when I left my court place. I went across the hall just to have a look because You're not even allowed up the stairway there. You got a sheriff there and everything. And I just looked, you should have seen the look in the snob's face when they saw me in the hallway. Oh my God, they even shut the goddamn door. I mean, it's justice, but the elite and everybody, you know. See, the sad part, the bottom line here, as I always said, if this happened to me, what other person that this is happening to that will never see the light of day in the media? The CBC was there this morning. The Irving media wasn't there, which they knew last week. It was just an amendment hearing, so there wasn't much. But a lot of stuff is happening, and you know that thing I had there with that idiotic poet there, who was charged with assault.
That incident, yes.
That incident, or whatever. This week, I'm putting a 12-page complaint to the Attorney General of everything. The judge, the prosecutor, the police, the system. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Now, I used to be the most, I was the biggest supporter of the Fredericton police force. They couldn't do wrong. But I saw a cop giving a shit kicking to a soldier of the Canadian Army in front of the IROC. I filmed. Oh my God, after that, then they went in front of the media. Well, the guy had a couple of black eyes. Well, you know, it was a club. Then I showed up with a video. Holy Jesus. And then, my God, the cops invited me for coffee. They waved at me during the trial. It was sickening. Hi, Charles. They labeled me. I look like a rat. I was saying, my God, you know, it's so nice. But I tell you, the minute Stephen Stafford was acquitted, they came right after me, right after. Oh, here's a ticket for riding a bicycle on the sidewalk. You were seen 9 days ago. Here's a $140 fine. That's what it was, $140 fine. I said, for what? Oh, you were seen 9 days ago. Then Wuzzo, 5 cops. Hey, Charles, come on. And then suddenly, oh, you're riding a bicycle on the sidewalk. They came after me. And I'm Scottish. I fought back. And the rest is history.
Well,
this used to be brown.
Yeah, but you're getting old.
Oh.
And one of the things that your efforts have, and all the hoops that you've jumped through, and everyone else, is that the city did bring on Bernard Richards, and he pointed several weaknesses in the organization of the Fredericton City Police. He concluded with 7 recommendations, and to my knowledge, after speaking with Mayor Mike.
Mayor Mike is he's two-faced. Where's my Rickland? You're not supposed to mention that name when I'm here. That was in my contract. Well, why did you mention that name?
The nice thing is...
Why don't you listen to me?
The nice thing...
Your goddamn Asperger's did it again. Details. How come you couldn't say, I met with somebody? Okay.
I had to get him going.
This is CNN. There we go. Live. Fox News. Fredericton style.
Okay. Also, I have the power to bleep things out.
Editing. That's right.
Editing, yes.
You do that. Shit.
I do editing.
That's what you do, editing. Nobody's going to watch. Okay, continue.
So anyway,
you talked to the mayor
and all 7 recommendations were implemented by the Fredericton City Police. Now, these were just recommendations. The police didn't have to
go
by them, so credit's going to be given.
Yeah, but they never... Yeah, but the city never paid for me to get a lawyer. He wouldn't pay my lawyer. Bernard Richard made this investigation without talking to me or Fred Wuzzo. He talked to a lot of cops, but he never talked to me because the city wouldn't pay for my lawyer. And me, I don't understand my charter rights. How can I go sit down with Bernard Richard and start talking about 301 and the Constitution and all that? I don't.
Well, without a lawyer, I mean, that was the wise choice to do, not to speak to him, because had you chosen to speak to him, it is possible you may have said something, even though...
Me had ADHD, speaking before thinking? No, that's what never happened.
Bernard Richards may not have used it, but somebody else listening to it may have said, okay, evidence.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then they refer to the report to do further damage to you. But it does seem over the last while that the city police have eased off on you.
Don't let that fool you. Not for 1 second. There's no longer no police scanners, no nothing. They're right like this, and they make you feel relaxed. And then suddenly you start to accept police officers as being fine, upstanding members of the community. And when you put your guards down, bang, they come right after you. So I always, but let's get one thing straight here. Not all cops are bad, okay? Not all cops are bad. I met some, as a matter of fact, one of them bought me a bicycle helmet. That's another story, almost 300 bucks. But what we have to do is get the rotten apples out of there. And if you got a rotten apple, the problem is the establishment of the police. Don't matter what that cop did, they will support that person. All the interviews and everything and praising the cops is over. And of course we had the Dan Bissiere thing. He's the sergeant at arms at the New Brunswick legislature. And once he found out, and he's Moody Québécois, no offense, are you going to beat that part? Anyway, so turn around. He found out that the cops would follow his every order, his command to work overtime. And if you're a cop and you're working at the legislature as security, 60 bucks an hour. That's good money. So once he found that he had the power, oh, I want that guy to, I seen him ride a bicycle on the sidewalk, give him a ticket. Yes, master. No problem, master. Oh, arrest him. You know. It's funny how money can screw up people.
It does some amazing things. No, I mean, you know, those days, I mean, you know, pardon the expression, you couldn't fluctuate sideways without them being at your door for something. But at least for now, it appears that they've backed off. And yes, in every work and population samples, you have one end of the bell curve. Some people are at the extreme, very good, dedicated to what they do. On the other hand, you have the opposite. You know, shit employees, whether it's a police force, whether it's a manufacturing, whether it's a company. One other thing is, you know, people get this idea, well, if we remove the bad thing out, then that should make things good, but it doesn't work like that.
No.
Because when you dismiss somebody, the role will always be fulfilled. It's only, all you succeed to do is change the faces. And with that said, do you have any last closing words?
Well, it's just like what we need. What we need in Fredericton is good communication between the police. Now, I guess, I won't mention his name, don't want to go on the tirade. The mayor and council, going to go after me, but the council and the police and maybe the blogger or people that are less fortunate. I always praised this city. It's a beautiful city. Look outside, the colors of the trees, the river, the sunset, the sunrise. It's a beautiful city. And we must all get along. We have, yes, we got pain in the arse around. Okay, no problem. Pain in the arse. We got other people going details. We got alcohol problems. We got snobs. We got different cultures. Let's just get along.
I think the closing words, what you're saying is everybody respect each other and be good to each other. With that, we're going to finish up. Once again, thank you very much, Charles, for coming down, seeing the green studio.
Yeah,
and,
really green.
You'll see the finished product.
Oh, one more thing. No editing.
I won't do no editing.